Hey guys, I'm here to show you today some hybrid picking techniques, just some very basic ones that you can do to get started. I think a lot of people who start with a pick don't really know how to make that transition to using your pick and your fingers at the same time. So today we're going to try and merge those two worlds together. If you've ever played fingerstyle guitar, this will be way easier for you. If not, that's okay, we're going to get going anyways. Okay, so I was just playing a little A blues type thing. Check my other video that I just released, just on some new voicings on how to play. Some different voicings of A that'll make it a lot easier for you. But today let's look basically at our right hand, okay? So what you're going to do is you have your pick just normal. Now the picks that I like to use, let's see, and I'm not endorsed or anything by them, but it's the Little Black Ice by, I think Planet Waves makes these. I had to order a batch of 100 just to get them. I didn't really see them at any local store, but one of my students brought them to me, and I love them. I love the size of them, and I love that they're kind of that porous plastic, not the like the Fender type picks, the really slick ones, and they're small, and I just got used to using them, and I never use anything else unless I'm strumming on an acoustic guitar, and basically then I'll use something. But I use these mainly because I use my fingers constantly. I will hardly ever, and even then I always want to use my other fingers because I'm so used to it, and they're there to use. So unless I'm playing like straight ahead bluegrass and you can't hear me with my fingers on an acoustic guitar, I'm always playing with my fingers with my pick. So back to this. I hold my pick like so. You can hold it however you normally do it. And really you're going to use these two fingers right here. You don't hardly ever use your little finger. But let's just start with an A chord. And what you'll see is the A. We're going to play that A with our pick. And we're going to play with the B and the G strings. These are our two middle fingers. So, okay, so again, I mean, it's just really easy. Let's just, again, I like to teach through 12-bar blues, so we'll just try that. So let's go through a blues using our fingers. So first let's learn how to play each chord. We have the A, and we're going to use the B and G strings with these two fingers again. So. Let's go to a D, and same thing, play the D string with your pick, and then same two strings with your fingers. And you see how it's 1 and 2 and 3. So I'm picking and I'm pulling up towards me is the sound you're getting. And sometimes I do play the G and the D string on the A, and that's fine, whichever one you want. Alright, so, and then if you hear what I'm doing there, I'm muting a lot with this hand over here. I'm just letting go slightly, letting the string tension go back up. And you really want to work on these fingers popping those strings. So, I'm just muting over here, popping those strings. Okay. Let's get down. So that's some ideas. You can first start off basically like this. And if you want to switch it up between these two sets of strings, go ahead. It'll help. It'll only help. Now, after we get done with just the basics, if you get more used to this, we're going to switch over and start really popping and using the mute. And so it's kind of a shuffle feel. We'll keep it pretty straight, but let's just try to work through something like that. I think that for right now, that'll probably help you. Really, you just kind of have to feel that rhythm. Okay, so E. And what happens is when you start to use your fingers, you free up a lot more to go on. So if I'm playing this low E string, and the rest of these, let's say I'm playing the G and the D string, I want to make that an E7, and I'll lift off my ring finger. And I'm going to lift off, you know, my first and my third finger. And I'm just kind of working in between. And if you notice, one more thing, there's so many intricate things going on. I'm really trying to cover them all, but it's one of those things, like when you've been doing it for so long, you have a hard time breaking it down to like, what am I doing? So what I'm doing is palm muting. If you've never palm muted, there's a sweet spot right here past your bridge. If you get too far over, you'll kill it, and too far back, it's too open. So there's a sweet spot, and I take this part of my hand and just rest it right there. So, and I leave the other strings open for that real bright kick. So we want to hit that low. And I'm sort of making this up as I go, so feel free to kind of do the same. Same thing with the A. Let's do a little hammer onto the G string for the A7 over to the A, kind of that bluesy sound. And I'm kind of just fluctuating between all those because, you know, I'm not really playing a song per se, but I am playing just a couple of riffs that are. Now for D, we can lift off our first finger. There's a couple other techniques we can go over later, but for right now, that's pretty good. Now, let's say you've gone past that and you're like, okay, big deal, I can play this. Let's start using other forms. Use other forms. Use that open A string. You know, if you played a bar chord like this in the past, play it with just the open A string and the rest of it on the bottom. And let's kind of mess around with that. Remember, to begin, you can just go easy and slow. And you can get some different rhythms going on there, and let's just work on that popping. You can go the D. As long as you know where your root is, you should be okay. Okay. All right. Well, that'll do it today, and have fun playing.